Hey guys, it's Cappy with another video on the infamous Bless Unleashed. This time to check out the first closed beta test for the PC version. As a former Bless emissary with over 800 hours spent on the game, I follow this new game with great interest. And I did make a review for the previous Bless Unleashed PC stress test some months ago, which you can check linked below. What can I say about the game currently? Well, I'm going to try and not slam it to the ground as a PC gamer like so many before me have done, and give my positive, neutral and negative feedback on what they should keep and what they should change. Before we go into all of that, I am adding a further disclaimer. This opinion is strictly based on the fact I am a PC gamer, and we PC gamers have far more options in the market than our fellow console players. I actually feel the game is console worthy in its current form and would rate it 3.5 or even 4 stars out of 5. And I am sure the game will remain doing well on the Xbox and PlayStation platform. Also, if you ask me which game I prefer, I would say hands down Bless Online was a superior game, only plagued by the terrible game optimization from the developers and its Unreal Engine 3. Now the PC experience with keyboard and mouse. You can check my previous review on the stress test if you like, but nothing has changed since then, so I have no choice but to dig into the negatives in the hopes that the game developers, improve stuff to a standard us PC gamers are used to. This user interface is the worst I have ever seen in over 2 decades of playing MMOs on the PC platform. Next closed beta is its only chance to redeem itself, but I am extremely shocked on why they didn't just add the PC UI they have in the works in this beta. That's what betas is supposed to be used for, right guys? Testing features? This is worrying, as Bless Online was actually a good game with terrible optimization. This one is the other way around so far, but it's too recent to match its predecessor content wise, so we can give it the slip regarding content. I actually highly suggest anyone that tried this closed beta test to give the developers your feedback on the below linked Google form, as they really need to understand what they are doing wrong, and we as players and consumers should be heard. So without further ado, we shall begin this review. Positive feedback and no changes necessary. First of all, the graphics and optimization. They're much better than Bless Online. Party content. It's always been one of Bless's few strong points as a franchise. Game difficulty. The bosses are fun to fight and challenging. Controller UI mode. Make it a toggle option for the few that prefer the style of UI and gameplay, but PC and keyboard mouse mode is a must and should be the default setting. Moving on to the neutral feedback, which is just some improvement suggestions that I would suggest. They're not exactly a deal breaker in my opinion. First of all, the combat speed in my opinion needs 10 to 20% speed increase, so it could feel more like Bless Online and other games on the market. Mage and Ranger need an increased range, as they often are out of range to attack monsters and bosses who are relatively close to them. The stamina is too low, still can barely sprint, so perhaps giving a horse right away to the players rather than having to wait till you meet the first NPC where you can buy it would improve things. Less stamina costs for the dodge would be nice as well. Dodge should be able to cancel any animation you're already casting. I mean, on Mage and Ranger, which are the two classes I've most played in this closed beta, it's really horrible that some of the animations you can't just break with the dodge. Only 2 quests can be pinned at a time. They should let us pin at least 4 like most MMOs guys, come on. The NPC models are too bland. They need to be polished, like in the original Bless. Some more variety. The lack of initial inventory slots is too big in my opinion. MMO players don't enjoy this whatsoever. I think the game also needs more graphical options and presets, like the current presets don't exactly change anything much when you reduce them or put them higher. And the Unreal Engine 4 has far more options to tune. Also, there's not as much endgame content as the original game, Bless Online. It is still a relatively new game, but it's going to need an actual endgame because after 9 months on the Xbox platform, the game still has no actual endgame. Moving on to the negative feedback and the absolute must change. The game is enjoyable on the controller, but the mouse and keyboard mode feels just horrible with this UI. The UI is still the same, and that's quite frankly an insult. Like, if they're still working on it, they should still have placed it in the beta. I mean, that's what a beta is meant for, to test the game and its features. Come on guys. Like, I've played games especially MMOs, for over 2 decades, and this is the first time that I've actually felt insulted by logging onto a game and seeing a console UI on a PC version of the game. And as you can imagine, this is also hurting the initial reviews by tenfold for this game. Like, come on. Settings unable to be changed in the start menu and the tutorial still. This will lead players to quit in the first couple of minutes. Nothing more to say. Character customization and menus are a pain to use as a PC user. Again, going back to the UI changes are needed. The launcher defaults to Asia server when you relaunch the game, even if you selected North America or Europe on the last launch. It should make the easy mount control a default setting, as this is how you use mounts in virtually every single MMO game out there. You can't zoom in and out of the camera or map. This is basic features for a PC MMO. And finally, the game needs more chat channels. On Europe it's flooded by Russian comments, and on the Asian server it's flooded by Chinese comments. Like, come on guys, it's 2020 and you definitely need a global chat to be English and then just add some sub chats for the other languages. Now my final review for this closed beta test 1 between 1 and 5 stars is the following. I still got some sort of enjoyment playing this closed beta test, but I'm not kidding anyone or myself, it's subpar. I like the Blast lore world itself, but the game needs serious work to be playable for the majority of the PC audience. The server stability, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. The servers were mostly okay while I played them. Playing with a controller, I'd say it's a 3.5 out of 5. The game is designed for console, so no surprise on this one. Playing in keyboard and mouse mode, however, I give it a 1.5 out of 5, and that's being generous. The game is not designed for PC, so no surprise with this UI. So my final review for this current closed beta test is 2 out of 5. It's not good enough currently. Next closed beta is make or break for this game, and I'm actually disappointed in the developers not taking this golden opportunity to reassure PC gamers. Also, no news yet on compensation for former Bless Online players that they mentioned they would give us who had the original Bless Online founders on Steam, so that just further lowers my expectations honestly. So that's it from me guys, hope you enjoyed. If you still want to try out the game, feel free to check out the current ongoing closed beta test from November 5th until November 9th at midnight UTC. Links below to the Reddit topic that has all the websites still giving away free keys for this Steam test. I shall see you guys again for more Bless related content next closed beta test hopefully. Peace out.